Well, hello everybody. How's it going? Thanks for joining me tonight. As you can see, I'm solo gig tonight. The queen, the Miss Carrie, the one and only syrup taster, world's top syrup taster, is down and out. She's trying to recover from some form of a stomach bug. So I honestly feel like she just didn't want to take a shower, but we've got that going. So in her stead, I decided that, how much fun would it be just to hang out for a night with the world's top whiskey taster, Mr. Matthew Porter. You are looking dapper, man. I love those sexy specs.
Good evening, Mr. Klein. How are you tonight?
I am excellent, sir. How are you?
Not seeing any blue whatsoever. These are blue blocking glasses, and all I see is colors other than blue. Except for I still see blue, which I don't understand.
I was gonna say, so of all nights, the background behind us is blue. Can you even see that, or is it just like it's not even there?
It's like outer space. Cannot see anything.
Straight outer space. Straight outer space. Jason Busey, last week's stream was much more visually appealing. I mean, I love you guys. There's no doubt about that, Jason. That is absolutely true. I mean, Matt's sexy, though. I mean, really semi-serial killer looking sexy, says Trevor Wilson.
That means a lot coming from Trev.
Absolutely does. Let's say hi to a few people, Maddie. Look who we got in here. We got Sherry G, first one in the building. Then the legendary Barn Door. Whiskey Central. What's up, Shayla? Ryan Tarpey, Brett, Lord Farquaad. You huffed and he puffed and he signed an eviction notice. We got David Goldman, Tim Evans. How you doing, brother? Roy R. Does Things. Trev Wilson, William Ravas. Nobody's here. Ryan Tarpey, Casey Jones, Andrew the Cannon Buchanan, Sugar Kitty. She needs a nap. Hank Williams Jr. Love that dude. Ryan Parker, DC. DC is a legend, man. God, DC. You literally can't say enough about DC, can you? It's just unreal.
How do you even start? There's so much. Where do you start?
Mike Franklin's in the house. Let's see, who else am I in? OG Brick 420. What's up, dude? Hendo, Will Henderson's here. How you doing, brother? Kilco was running for 4 hours today. Guy he does marathon streams during the days. He's the best. Brian's awesome. Who else we got? JS. Yep, you're here. Ben Talibib. I can't pronounce names. Eric Hetzler. Will Zirk, how you doing, Will? Will's going to come up and visit me this week. Good dude. Let's see who else we got. Bev Porter. You know who that is?
My mama said.
My mama said, you drink your high-quality H2O. Z-Man is here. Richie Z is here. Destination Bourbon Carrie. Carrie's hanging out in the stream. See, I told you she just didn't want to take a shower. I mean, that's honestly what's probably going on here. Jeffrey Rollins. Who else we got? Jason Busey, the man. Brian Casey. How you doing, Brian Casey? Caitlin Brubaker. Brian Egan. Holy smokes, you guys are coming out. Cameron Lochner. Man, Jason Lamp. I love Lamp. Jerry Black. How you doing, Jerry? Ernie Brubaker's hanging out with Caitlin. Jeffrey Rollins. Oh, boy. AB Cigars, Alec. I thought for sure you would be late. Really? Come on, buddy. All right. Tommy D in the house. Oh, there's so many people. Jason Busey coming in with another super chat, $20. Sexy Matt makes this a fun night. This will be a great night with the two of you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. Will Zirk with a $5 super chat. Merry Christmas, everybody. Nice to see you, too. Nice to see you, Will. Maddie, what happened to your glasses?
I received a text message from the missus, and it just read, "What the hell are you doing?"
That was it?
I didn't hear the sirens, but the fun police showed up.
Just came and sucked the air right out of the room.
No more glasses, no more swirling. Just getting plain old Matt. I'm going to go change into a tuxedo t-shirt without the tuxedo part.
Why don't you just take your shirt off? Then we'll really have some fun. Julielle's in the house. Hey, fam. How you doing, Julielle? You beautiful human. Sherry G coming in with a $5 super chat. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Sherry. Jason Busey, that was at Maureen Franchi, not me, with the $20. Yeah, it was at Maureen Franchi. You know what? Thank you, Jason. And Maureen, I am so sorry for that. As I was scrolling through, I saw Jason's and then I saw yours. So that is on me. Jason, thank you for fixing that. And Maureen, you beautiful human. Sexy Matt does make this a fun night. And your bottle is coming to you tomorrow, hand-delivered by Will Zirk. The man, the myth, the legend. Ben A., Merry Christmas, brother. So how was your Christmas, Matt? What did you guys do?
It was good. We woke up and, of course, obviously, and then...
Sure beats the alternative.
The kids were like, we're going to open presents. And my 5-year-old, super fast at opening them. She just not even paying attention to what's inside of them. Just tearing through them. Then my 3-year-old, she opens up one and she's like, a Beanie Baby. I want to play with it for 6 hours before I even touch the next present. They're so different, these kids. And then Carissa made sausage balls because DC told me about sausage balls and I'd never heard of them before. And then I was like, what are those? And then he sent me a link to the recipe. And then I went ahead and forwarded that to Carissa and was like, should we? And then so we did. We had sausage balls for breakfast. Delicious. Then we just kind of hung out the rest of the day. Cleaned up so many messes.
What is a sausage ball? Is it just like a sausage in the form of a meatball?
Yeah, with biscuit mix and cheese.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of like biscuits and gravy in a ball without the gravy. So guess what we did? Made some gravy.
Hell yeah. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
That's a way to do it.
It was a great day. Another Christmas in the books. All right.
Another Christmas in the books. That's exactly the way to do it.
How about you? Did you rock around the Christmas tree all day? Or
we did. We were just rocking around the Christmas tree. We had a great day. Christmas for us is always like bittersweet and kind of weird because we're a blended family. Yeah. So it's like half a day. It's either in the morning or it's in the afternoon. And this year was in the morning. So we spent Christmas Eve running around to a bunch of, doing a bunch of family stuff. And then on Christmas Day, we had the kids in the morning, which was great. The morning was awesome. And then when they went away at noon, it was kind of like,
Now what?
It's quiet. At first you're like, oh, it's quiet. It's finally quiet. And then you're like, oh, it's quiet.
Right.
And then you just kind of miss them and, that sort of jazz. So we watched probably the worst movie that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was so upset because I was really looking forward to it. And I thought it was going to be really excellent. And it just wasn't. What?
You timed me out?
I didn't time anybody out.
You timed me out.
Gary, I did not. I'm getting yelled at. I did not time you out.
Someone timed me out.
Wow. Just, I don't know why. It's not like I'm doing anything. I should be yelled at from the top of the stairs.
Did you time out in chat or did you time out in real life?
At least. Yes, it was, Alec. It was Wonder Woman 1984. Thank you for getting me back on track.
Time me out.
I have no idea, Carrie. I've been talking to Matt. I don't know who timed you out.
I'm off.
Okay. Now she's mad. She's mad at me, and she's mad at whoever timed her out, and then she's off. She's done, and I don't even know what happened.
So far, I'm receiving text messages asking me what the hell I'm doing. You're getting verbal lashes. Just why did you do that, Klein? Why did you time her out? Let's get to the bottom. Let's get to the root.
Just getting yelled at from the top of the stairs. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, Jason, you're feeling under the weather. I'm so sorry, buddy. I hope you feel better. Did Trev time out Carrie? All right, I'll scroll up and see who timed out Carrie and find out what happened. I have no idea. Destination Bourbon was deleted by Tommy D. All she said was, "Hey, Shayla."
Nobody talks to Shayla that way.
I just added Destination Bourbon Carrie as a moderator on my channel so she can no longer be timed out as a joke.
Terrible idea.
So she is back. If she's even watching. Who knows? She may be out in front yelling at cars as they're driving by because she's just angry, wants to yell.
Well, she was timed out, right?
Amy Bohm says, "Are you thinking you actually had to do something wrong to get blamed for it?" That is true. I did not.
No, you deserved that. You deserved way worse.
Totally deserved it.
I hope you learned your lesson. So, what movie did you try to watch that sucked so bad?
It was Wonder Woman 1984. It was terrible.
The 1984 version of Wonder Woman, or is that a new movie?
It's a new one. So that what's her name? Gal or Gail or whatever, however you pronounce her name. The new Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot, whatever her name is. Anyway, whoever the new Wonder Woman is, the one that just did the movie with the Justice League and all that stuff, and then she did the other Wonder Woman. She had a new movie come out, and it was released to HBO Max.
Okay.
And in the theaters, and since a lot of people can't get to the theater, then the people are watching at home. So we watched it here. It's like 2.5 hours, and in this guy's humble opinion, it was absolutely brutal. It was terrible.
Would it have been better in the theater, or
No.
I think some movies they need to be seen on the big screen with Dolby Digital surround sound and like $8 M&Ms and $65 pops to really enjoy them.
Possibly it could have made it a little better. It's just, I don't know. For me, it was really, I don't know. The plot was not that great. It did bebopped and scattered all over the place. It just wasn't a good movie, in my opinion. Other people may like it, and if you do, I apologize. I'm not here to offend you. It just wasn't for me. And I love superhero movies and things like that, and that's why, but
I don't think anybody in here is going to get offended by you not liking a particular movie.
That's probably true.
Unless it's The Sandlot. I think that everybody would unsubscribe if you said you didn't like The Sandlot. Pretty sure.
Right.
It's just a good movie. It's a classic.
It is probably one of the best movies ever. The Sandlot is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. I had to text Carrie and let her know that she's now a moderator and she can come back and do whatever she wants. So
she's gonna what do you call it? Enact revenge.
Exact revenge.
Exact. Is that how you say it? Exact. That's not it. Is it?
I mean, she's going to enact revenge.
It's something like that. But she's going to do it. Everybody's going to be in timeout before the end of the night.
Oh yeah, she's just going to run through and just start putting everyone in timeout. It's going to be the Revenge of Carrie.
Oh, that's actually a name of a movie, I think.
The Revenge of Carrie?
It's got to be, right?
Oh, Carrie's Revenge. Yes, there's like Carrie 2, the movie Carrie.
Right.
I think that's Carrie's Revenge. Anyone else just waiting for Carrie to pull a scary peeper in the back window? That probably could happen. Exact Revenge. Yeah. Ernie Brubaker says exact. It is right. That's right. Exact Revenge.
What's going on, Ernie Brubaker? Friggin' Brubaker maker up in the house.
Friggin' Brubaker. Revenge is a dish best served cold. You are not kidding. So we, Matt and I decided that we were going to get together and talk about Wonder Woman 1984. And when that was done, we were going to just kind of go through, I don't know, like 2000, right? Like what was good about it? What are we glad it's over? What are we looking forward to in 2021? Like, basically, we just want to wrap. I brought out a few bottles and set them next to me, bottles that actually surprised me this year.
Mhm.
You know, I don't really do a best of or any of that jazz, but there's a lot of, I'm sorry, Sean Paisley got timed out the second he said something, and AB Cigars has been waiting to do that for I can't tell you how long. So there it is. Alec got to exact his revenge.
Inactly, yes.
Inactly, yes. So I mean, I brought out a few bottles, some things that I thought like were really surprised me, things I thought were kind of cool. Not really gonna say what's the best of any of them, but for example, like I brought out this, and you're gonna be like, the hell, Bullet Bourbon, but this is a store pick Bullet Bourbon. And so one of the best surprises for me for the entire year is a bourbon that I can't stand. Actually decided to go out and source their barrel program, and they have killer store picks now.
I've heard some people saying the exact same thing, that a lot of the new barrel picks from Barrel or Bullet are actually really good. I've never had one. I've actually never, sounds weird, but I've never even tasted Bullet barrel strength. Never tried it.
No,
don't know why. It's just I've always just grabbed something else.
I just don't care for Bullet's profile, period. Like so a bunch of people are like, oh, well, you've got to try their store picks. This store pick is great. This store pick is legit. And I'm like, it's Bullet. No.
Right.
Well, come to find out, I think it's like OBSO. It's a Four Roses. So a lot of the Bullet store picks are now Four Roses juice. They're sourcing from all sorts of different places. So it depends on. There's not going to be a consistency to it, right? So if you go out and you're like, oh, now all Bullet store picks are good, that's not going to definitely be the case. But the ones I've got 3 of them back there. One from Opperman's, this one that Great Lakes Whiskey Club picked, and then I have one that Kevin Murray gave me from AB down in Davison. All 3 of them are spot on. They're amazing.
Nice. So that's one of your surprise bottles of the year.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's just the fact that there's even a Bullet bourbon in my house is a huge surprise to me.
Right.
And the fact that they can come out with that they decided, as think about how many barrels they have to have. I mean, they're friggin' Bullet bourbon.
Right.
I mean, they have to have barrel after barrel after barrel. So do they know that their stuff sucks? And they need to go somewhere else to do their barrel picks? I mean, what would make them feel that they need to source products to do single barrel picks?
So, I mean, Bullet's a weird one, right? Are they using their own distillate now for their bourbon? Because I know that their rye is like one of the best-selling ryes on the planet, and it's MGP. But the bourbon is their own distillate now?
I believe that their bourbon, maybe it's not. So maybe I just made something completely up. And
I've heard so many different things, and I've never cared enough to really find out, like, for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. Hey, Alec, it's done. It's done. They're removed. So I guess I never really cared enough to go in and decide that myself either. But I assumed, as big as they are and as much product as they put out, it only makes sense for them to be making their own distillate.
Right. So maybe their stuff isn't, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, I know some places just source stuff because they can. And why not? If it makes money, it makes sense, right?
True.
I'm so business savvy.
Yeah, you're as business savvy as it gets. I love it.
I could be in a movie about money right now, and everybody would be like, he knows what he's talking about. We We should hire him in real life to do something with our money, for sure.
Bullet is owned by Four Roses. All of their distillate is Four Roses. And their rye is MGP. There you go. Well, the regular distillate sucks. These single barrel picks are great. I guess anytime you go out and pick a honey barrel of something, right? If you have the opportunity to do a single barrel pick, there's a chance if somebody follows your palate, or if you follow their palate, and you're like, hey, I align myself with that, it's probably going to be a good pick.
Right. Mark K says Bullet's owned by Diageo. And that's correct. Diageo owns Bullet. I don't think Four Roses is owned by Diageo.
I don't think so either.
I think Four Roses is owned by like that Kirin company or whatever, that Kirin or something like that.
Mm-hmm. The Japanese company.
See, and I still refuse to do more research to find out the truth.
I'm with you.
I'm happy with just not knowing and everything. I don't know.
So you know something else really cool that happened this year in 2020 on June 28th of 2020?
June 28th of 2020.
Random red letter date in history.
Jeez Louise. That was this past summer, I reckon. And wow, trying to put a finger on it. It was roughly a week before Independence Day. And no idea.
This guy decided that he was going to launch a channel that day.
You didn't decide it. Everyone decided it for you.
Well, that's true. But on June 28th, 2020, my first video debuted.
Nice.
So, you look back at the year and you're like, man, it's been since June 28th. And I've got, all of you people are hanging out, watching the stream, following our progress, became friends with so many people. I mean, just, as I was just kind of cycling back and looking through and thinking about this year. Hold on real quick. Brian Casey, thanks for the super chat. Bullet is Four Roses. The B3 picks are OBSO and the E2 batches are OESO. Okay. Thank you, sir. And still, Matt and I are going to refuse to do any more research on this. Oh, Ben Elkhorn. Ben Elkhorn wants to lose his wrench. That's for sure.
So you know how like Four Roses and their mash bills, like let's be honest here. There are some people who are super nerdy Four Rose people, and they're like, we need to know all this and we need to know it in depth. And then there are other people who know it, but don't need to know everything about it at all. Like we like what we like. We don't need to research it all over the place. And now you're adding Bullet Bourbon's own batches and then the Four Roses mash bills on. No. Nope. Don't care. Unless, of course, I need to know at some point, in which case I will find out. But as soon as I don't need to know it anymore, first thing I'm forgetting. 100%.
1,000,000%.
Oh,
1,000,000%. Julie L says, how to get allocated whiskey. I remember the video. Yeah. Okay. I didn't say that I established the channel on June 28th so everybody could start scoring on me about not doing videos. Let's also remember what is the idea of Destination Bourbon, like travel, right? Also this year, no travel. So some idiot decided that he's going to start a travel vlogging channel. In a year, you can't travel, but it's somehow, because of this community and all the people, still been a successful and amazing and a wonderful year. Even though I probably did the dumbest thing possible and start a travel vlogging channel in a time that you can't travel.
Well, let's say that you did what you planned on doing. It may not even have been this successful. Like you really hit a home run with doing what you didn't plan on doing.
It's been fun and amazing and as I was trying to like just cycle everything back in my mind, it's like I I can't imagine this year being any different. I mean, if I don't know what I would want to change. If I could go back and say, okay, I could travel and I could go and do all of these things, I don't know that I would want to do that because of the experiences and the people that I've met and the channel growth and the channels and other things that we've got to do and become friends with. And it's just been amazing. It's absolutely been amazing. And I know, Kerber, everybody's just here for Carrie, but you wouldn't even have met Carrie if I would have done my original show. I mean, not right away anyway, because she wouldn't have been with me very often. So maybe the silver lining for you guys is that you got to meet Carrie and hang out with Carrie, and eventually I'll fade off into the distance and it'll just be the Carrie show. And I won't even be here. I'll stand at the top of the stairs and yell, "Did you time me out?"
You'll be like touching down in Atlanta or something. Turn your airplane mode off, and it'll be like, Destination Bourbon is going live in 30 minutes. Like, hell?
What happened?
Yeah. Just tune in from around the world to watch your channel and Carrie running it. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, look at how well she's doing. Good job. Though, I was writing down like highlights of the year. It's because I don't do that. I never plan these shows. I don't plan a whole lot of stuff. I'm like, let's just talk. Let's just think. And dude, I think I wrote down 25 or 30 names of channels and people that have made an impact this year and been a part of the growth of this channel and been integral in all of this. And it's just been amazing. I mean, none of it is as impressive as being in Kentucky and hanging out with you and being a part of what you did. I mean, for me personally, and I would be shocked if it wasn't for you, but for me personally, that was the highlight of my 2020, hands down.
Oh,
being with you in Bardstown.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the craziest time. I'm still can't really believe it. So weird just thinking about. But yeah, that was in such a weird year. Like cool things happened, even though this year, as a whole, on a whole, was terrible. Like, still great things happened. Like, amazing friendships were made, and I got a fancy new title and a crown, and they gave me my own country that I'm allowed to do whatever I want on. Built a castle, start a military. I'm the king of whiskey, they call me now. So that's amazing. That happened this year. Next year, they will take it away for sure. 100%.
Can I be a general in your military?
No way.
Fair. That's fair.
No, too much responsibility. You deserve to relax and chill out. You can, I don't know. You'll get a much easier position. I don't need you to stress out about general things like being a general. Can
I just sit on the other side of the moat that we dig around your castle and drink whiskey and yell at people
with the dragon? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I get a dragon.
Yeah, you can have two. Yeah, you've earned them. Thank you.
I love your island.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best.
I'm so glad you had more fun with Matt in Kentucky than me. And, that's another thing. I got to meet a guy who's one of my best friends now in Alec Rubin, and got to hang out with him in Kentucky. It just, for a year that's supposed to be completely screwed up and weird and I totally get it. Don't. I hope nobody feels like I'm downplaying the negativity and the aggressiveness of COVID. And people. I know people have lost loved ones, and it's been a real shitty thing. I get that. I'm just simply pointing out the fact that even though it was probably a terrible year overall, there's so much good that happened this year and so much intense and fun, amazing things that we have to be thankful for. And as the year rounds out and it's the holiday time, I think it's a very good time to kind of reflect back and be thankful for all of those great things and all of these great people. 185 people in chat. just being awesome humans.
They're the best. This community is the best. The bunch of people hanging out every night with the same people, and then inviting more people and more people. And we weed out the ones that don't belong, or they find their own way out. But for the most part, it's like everybody's amazing. Except for that one guy who told me that if I walked up a set of stairs, I would die of COVID if I caught it. That guy was not part of my...
Well, he's not part of the community. He's a random.
Not part of the inner circle anyway. He's
Yeah.
welcome back.
I mean, I just had a guy tell me I'll never understand the bottle chug. With all that's going on in this world, I sure hope that you would never share that bottle with a friend after you're chugging out of it. I'm just like, obviously you stumbled across the wrong spot here, buddy.
Was that Dan like?
No, it was not Dan.
Are you sure?
Well, unless he may have a separate channel that he's doing that to me on, but
because he's literally said those, I think, word for word exactly what you just said.
John Reese just became a member of Destination Bourbon. Thank you so much. That was actually something I was supposed to talk about tonight, and I forgot. We needed to get one more membership. John Reese, you just became it, so that we can open up another tier of perks. So thank you, John, for doing that. I really appreciate it. Julie L, I guess you and I are chatting. That is exactly what I'm talking about, Dan. That weekend, like Matt winning, being down there, doing all that stuff was the highlight. You are part of that highlight. It was crazy cool. I mean, meeting people from the channel, it was really just an awesome weekend. I mean, my weekend with Alec was awesome too. I wish Alec could have been with us for your weekend. Just super cool stuff. Like, experiences that not everybody gets to have. And I just felt really blessed that I got to be a part of it. And I want to thank you for that.
You talking to me?
Where the monkeys banging. It's like I got Carrie with me. You're thinking about something else?
No, I'm so happy that I could share it with you too. And it wouldn't have been the same without you, because it just wouldn't have. Without you and everybody who was there, I can't with Dan and Julie, of course, and just like incredible, super awesome. Carissa was there. Couldn't be more happy about that. Wouldn't have been the same without her. But turning around and just watching you all day, just trying to put up tents and just your excitement building and just yipping and hollering and just, yeah. It would have been different. It would have been awesome without you. Don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't have been as awesome. And I'm so thankful for people like you for all the support. It's crazy and awesome. And I don't even know what to say. I can't say anything else because I'm done talking about it, because I just repeat myself over and over again. And I love you with all of my heart, every bit, for sure.
I love you too, buddy. And Carrie's so glad that you could fill her seat tonight.
I'm glad that you could fill my seat tonight. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for letting me just hop in here and slow talk my way through this entire evening. You ever feel like you're in slow motion? That's how I feel right now.
Oh yeah.
And I'm already slow.
No, Richie Z says the whiskey community has gotten incredibly deep in this past year, and it has. I mean, if you kind of go through and look at all the new channels and all the people that have gotten involved in this community and all the support, I mean, like you and I just did a charity stream with Jason the other night that raised over $6,000 for Wounded Warriors and St. Jude's. A couple of weeks before, we did a charity stream here that raised $3,000 for Susan G. Komen. If you take two nights of two streams from this whiskey community, we donated almost $10,000 to charity. Yep. And I know Fred Minnick did a charity stream. I know other people have done charity streams. It all just circles around to the amazing people that are in this community and the giving. And I am proud and humbled and like beyond elated to be a part of all of you people, everybody in this group. Stanley Wagner Jr., another legend, another person. What's up, buddy? that just is kind and caring. And Stanley actually has a channel that you guys need to check out. It's the Mash Bill on Instagram. So Stanley's doing some stuff on Instagram that's cool, really cool too. He's teamed up with some people, and they give away. They get you stuff that you can't find, and they help people that can't afford. They're just great people as well. So check out the Mash Bill on Instagram, because Stanley's got some really cool stuff going on. He's just a great dude.
Heck yes. Instagram is such a different platform than YouTube, that I see a lot of people doing stuff on Instagram, and then I just can't wrap my head around it. I'm one of those people that's like a one platform guy. I think, man, doing video on Instagram, I'm like, I don't know what to do at all. So I don't know. I think that's definitely a great place to do that. Hopefully he starts doing some YouTube stuff too, because then I'll understand more. I'll be like, what? If somebody does something on Instagram, I don't know what that means. So right. I'll have to learn.
It's very much the same streaming type thing. I mean, you just get on and you kind of watch, and you can chit chat and do different stuff. Julie says, we found Whiskey Tube this year, decided to invest Dan's retirement in it. It's paid off. Great investment. Absolutely. Tim Evans joined the subscription. Thank you, buddy. Welcome to the channel. And Ryan Butler threw in a $5 super chat. You all are awesome. Well, you guys are actually the awesome ones. I can tell you there's not one time that I sit around and I go, I just don't want to go on YouTube. I just don't feel like doing this. I just don't feel like hanging out with a bunch of legends, a bunch of great people. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel like, man, I need to have more for you. I need to have more for you than just me coming on and talking. Because you people are so amazing and you support us so well. But there's never a day that I don't want to be here with you. It's amazing, and I feel like you probably feel the same way. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
no, you can, because those are the right words for sure. It's the support is unreal. Like my wife is like, "You're on your phone all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, people are being so nice."
Yeah,
like everyone's awesome. It's not like it's great to be surrounded by a bunch of positive and uplifting people. It's like if we put ourselves around, if we're around all these nice people and great people, then it brings us up too, right? It's like everybody's a better person for being a part of this, I feel anyway.
I completely agree. Like Cheech Ardolino, he says, 2020 marked my return to bourbon. The community drew me in and has kept me here. And Dan says, before this year, I watched whiskey channels only to get info. Now we get no information, but it's much more fun. And
it's a wrong, bad information.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Matt and I don't even know where Bullet Bourbon comes from, but it doesn't matter because we're here having a good time. I mean, it's fun.
It's like that question where someone's like, Matt, where does Bullet Bourbon come from? I'm like, ask your father. Like, don't go there with me. Not time yet.
Don't do it.
But I mean, there's just different areas of Whiskey Tube that, I mean, there's Jason, the Mash and Drum. Just like, he's like an encyclopedia of whiskey. Just, he knows he's just super smart and just a great guy and entertaining to watch. And then there's the Bourbon Junkies who have never even seen the word encyclopedia. And they are just a great time with horrendous palates, but they have a lot of people who love them because they feel bad. And that's just they're great too. So it's like from everywhere. And then there's me, who people feel the worst for. And I get all the sympathy love. And it's that great. It's great.
You do not get sympathy love. Amy Bohm. Mike, many thanks to you. Matt, Hot Butter Rolls, Trev's, BJ's making a crappy year. Great. Much love to you all. Much love to you too. And you know what, dude, you're absolutely right. It's funny because it's like if you take all of the people around that are in our whiskey community, everyone couldn't be more different in what they do, how they do it, what their deliveries are. And that's what makes it awesome. Because if anybody was trying to be a persona or be somebody that they're not, or play a role, it wouldn't work. It's just everybody being themselves and coming out here and hanging out and having a great time, and everybody accepts them for that. That's what makes it great.
David from Shelf Turds played an OBGYN the other night, and that seemed to work all right.
I guess that's true. With the exception of the Shelf Turds. I'll throw them out there because they've got something else going on entirely. Ryan Butler, I've added 80 new bottles in my collection since September, all because of recommendations from this community.
Wow.
That is awesome, and I really hope that your bank account didn't suffer because of that.
Oh, I hurt Sean's feelings. He said war. He wants to go out. I don't know. I don't do well at war at all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I love you guys, and you know that.
Oh no, we can go to war. Send in the general. You have a general. You have an army and a general for a reason. We'll go to war.
If you feel confident enough and that you can take on that sort of responsibility without feeling overwhelmed, then I'll put you in that role. And I will go hide behind the biggest structure and wait for it to be over, because that's how I would approach it, for sure.
I like that. DC wants to know if Destination Bourbon pullovers and ADHD whiskey sweater vests are in the near future.
Ooh.
Well, sir, yes. I am working on another platform so I launched a Teespring store where I've got all new Destination Bourbon clothing and jazz out there. But I'm going to be working with a local company to be able to do things that that Teespring doesn't have, such as this, and bigger sizes for my triple XL friends that are saying, "Hey, where's my triple XL?" So
you've got triple XL. I ordered one. I will be wearing it every day when I get it.
Oh. I have triple XL T-shirt. I don't have a triple XL sweatshirt. I don't think.
Right.
I had a couple of people ask me about the sweatshirt. So, but ADHD whiskey sweater vest would absolutely be epic.
Oh man, I'd sell a couple to myself for sure. Absolutely.
Brian Egan says I look like the general from the insurance commercial. I don't have that big mustache. I don't. You mean the ones with Shaquille O'Neal, the General Insurance? A little bald cartoon guy. I guess everybody bald looks like me, huh?
No, it's just ever since you posted that video with your face swap with Dr. Evil and Mini-Me, if you wear gray, that's all I've seen this entire night.
So what else? What else did you find in whiskey? What did you find surprising?
Oh, I mean, everything. I don't know. Like, what do you mean by you mean like a product, like a surprising product?
Like this. Did this surprise you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I wasn't blown away by it. I wasn't like jumping out. I wasn't jumping out of my seat to go buy backups or like. But I actually enjoyed it more than any other Maker's product I've enjoyed before. Who'd have thought? They're like,
that's exactly correct. That's my thoughts entirely. I was surprised and impressed, probably for the first time in any Maker's product outside of that 46 cask strength that they released.
Mm-hmm.
But to come out with an everyday product, that Maker's 101, I'm like, that's actually good. I would drink that.
Also surprised that it's a screw top. Did not see that coming.
That surprised me as well.
I pulled on it a little bit.
Did it take you as long to open as it did my bottle?
No, that was, we're not talking about that anymore.
You're putting the kibosh to a lot of things I want to talk about.
Well, hey, I mean, I thought it was a cork, and it wasn't at all. But no, the Maker's was decent, but it wasn't like, it wouldn't be my surprise of the year. That's for sure.
No.
I think, I don't know. There's like a lot of these weird bottlings that have kind of come out, like the Sam Houston 14 year, and this like, where the hell's it at? Oh, there's like Doc Swinson 15-year. It's like a bunch of sourced Kentucky bourbon that's extra aged.
Yep.
That's tremendous. But the weird thing is, the bottle of Sam Houston I have is a Tennessee, the first Tennessee batch, and it's awesome. But there's been so many mixed feelings about other batches that it's weird because they're only in small, like 2 and 3 barrel batches. So the batches are really small. So that means that there's going to be a lot of batches if they're putting them out in every state.
Yep.
So like, it kind of sucks that I'm sitting here saying that it's really good, and then somebody could go buy it and it could be like terrible, which I don't like that.
So if you're talking about surprises, that is a surprise bottle for both of those reasons. One, surprise at how good it is. Like this exact bottle you're talking about, the Tennessee 01.
Mm-hmm.
That's an amazing bottle. I was surprised. I'd had the Sam Houston 12, and I didn't like it at all. So when all these people are talking about Sam Houston 14, I'm like, I don't know that 2 years is going to fix that whiskey. So I was shocked at how good it was. And then again, got some from Colorado, got some from Michigan, got some from Kentucky, got some from North Carolina, and they were all different. We got one from Texas, all different. And that again was another surprise. Just so weird that they would have their name, but be in those small batches. I get it, but it threw me off. Bad in a bad way.
So, while you were talking about the inconsistency thing, I was thinking about what I was going to say next, but I was still listening, which is hard to do sometimes. Like earlier when I asked you if you were talking to me.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, and I came up with something just great. This is a good point. A lot of times we look forward to something that we know is going to happen like a few months in advance, and then we get it and it's not what we expected. It's kind of a letdown. And other things, well, that happens, I think, probably more often than not. Like Old Forester barrel proof, to me, the single barrels, I was super stoked about that. And I haven't had one that I've really, truly enjoyed. And the same with like the Old Forester 150th. It's good, but it's like, that's really expensive for what that whiskey turned out to be.
Yep.
And so, I mean, it was like, that was kind of a bummer. So then this bottle I got my hands on the other day, thanks to Dan and Julie. And we tried that Tennessee Taster Jack Daniel Rye before, the barrel strength one.
Yep.
And then they said that they're going to do the Heritage Barrel this year as a barrel strength rye. Super excited. And then the Old Forester stuff happened, and I was like, you know what? It's going to suck. It's going to come out, and it's not going to be as good as we thought. No, this thing is better than I imagined. Way better. It's so good. Do you have one of these? Yeah,
I do. Yeah. Also, thanks to Dan and Julie.
Yeah, they're gangsters. They're the best.
Yeah, I actually compared that side by side with the Tennessee Taster.
Oh, and
they're both phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, that one is better. It's the mid palate spice that you get off of that one is much more profound, and it gives you it excites up your taste buds more than the Tennessee Taster. The Tennessee Taster just, I think, surprised me so much that it was good. That I thought the same thing as you, that this was going to be so much better, and I was so happy that it was. I didn't allow my brain to go down the road that you went down to kind of reverse psychology yourself, but
I mean, I get my hopes up for stuff, and then I'm like, oh crap. But no, it's so. Was the Tennessee Taster one? Was that a single barrel also, or was that batch?
Let me grab it.
Because I mean, these are going to vary too, since they're all single barrels. But from all the feedback I've gotten, everyone is pretty happy about this one. Super good, super darn good.
So this one's a little higher proof. The Tennessee Taster is 127.
Okay. Which do we have the same barrel of the new one?
Barrel, it's 130.8 proof.
Oh, mine's 130.6. So different
Okay.
barrel.
So mine's 130.8. Yeah, so the Tennessee Taster is 127.6. And it says it does not say single barrel on it. It just says barrel proof rye.
Oh, so I wonder it was probably in some sort of a. I like that label. They should I don't know why I like it, but it's cool.
It's a boss label.
And it's kind of like a bottle you shouldn't have kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like some of your Pingree stuff. It looks like it's from the boss's desk.
Yeah,
with scribbled notes on it, and you're like, I shouldn't have this, but I do.
Those are my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
So this has the grain bill on it: 70% rye, 18% corn, 12% malted barley. I don't see that on the single barrel proof rye.
Well, I'm sure it's got to be the same mash bill.
It's probably the same. It tastes so similar. So 70, 18, 12.
So how does the Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye heritage barrel single barrel? Is it? No, it doesn't say heritage barrel. It just says special release. My bad. Or does it say? No, it doesn't. Anyway, how does that stack up to Jack Daniel's rested rye?
I would take one sip, like the smallest. I would just take the smell of a Glen of the single barrel to never have to open my bottle of rested rye again.
There's just so much particles just floating in it, and it's just they're flavor crystals of not good stuff.
That was so bad. Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Well, hey, it just sometimes you just gotta take a chance on something. And
hey, you know what? I'll take that chance all day long, because one thing that Jack Daniel's does right is their single barrel releases and their special releases. Their old number 7 is not for me, but I can't. Almost all their single barrel products, all their special release products, everything. I've loved all of them. They do a good job with that stuff. I mean, I've loved some more than others, but they do a really good job of that. So, like the Sinatra is really good. It's not really good for the money. They charge way too much for it, but it's a good product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a sample of that, and it's just what is it? Almost $200 or something like that for new. No thanks.
Not $200, but if it was
$69.95,
$70, it'd be good.
I feel like, I don't know, like Booker's this year, that was a disappointment seeing the old Booker's price jump. I never dabbled in a lot of Booker's, purchasing them anyway, because the price was already high, and now I'm never going to buy another bottle because it's $100 in Michigan. So there's just no way that's ever, it's not going to happen. And I feel like if it was $60, like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof or Stag Junior, if it fell in that price range, then I'd be a buyer, but I'm not now. And I don't like to say that because I do like a lot of Jim Beam's products, like the Knob Creeks and the Knob Creeks. But
I read somewhere that the when Booker's first came out, they said they wanted it to be $100 bourbon, and it wasn't successful. So they lowered the price, but ultimately the goal was for it to be $100 bourbon. And it doesn't make sense if it sells at 60 and then it doesn't sell as well at 70, it sells worse at 80, and maybe it doesn't sell worse. I don't know. For me, I see it sitting on the shelf all the time, and pretty much anywhere I go. It's at Meijer right now. You can go out and get Booker's. It's just sitting on the shelf. So, I mean, at $100, nobody wants it. At $60, I would still buy it. It's not my favorite profile. It's too peanutty for me, but it's a good $60 bourbon, and it's a barrel proof. It's not horrible. But for $60, it's a lot different than 100.
So here's actually, let me look at it. I'm looking at it from a different angle. So let's say it was $70, and then you look on a shelf at Meijer, and you start seeing other things that are similarly priced. Oh, geez, Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof is right there with it. Rabbit Hole right there with it. So what if their price increase was to like gain different types of buyers, like somebody who was giving a gift? They go to a store and they're like, I want to give a good whiskey gift. So instead of looking at the shelf and picking between $70 bourbons, it's like the Johnny Walker Blue Label. It's like you can buy that anywhere and people buy it as a gift. I've never tasted it, but I've heard that it's not that great.
So to play devil's advocate to your theory, who do you think moves more whiskey? The guys that actually enjoy drinking it and go out and buy it for themselves, or the people that are eventually wandering in and buying somebody a bottle for a gift? Right.
Good point. And I forfeit. That's why I'm no good at war.
I quit. I'm out. You win. No, I mean, I get exactly what you're saying. And if that is their idea, okay.
I don't know.
But that's not a way to really go out and move the bourbon. I mean, if they put that on the shelf at $60, it's going to be hard to find. People are going to buy it. They're going to be like, oh, that's a great bottle for $60. I'm buying it all day long.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if they want it to sit on a shelf at 100, okay.
So
I mean,
weird.
on the transverse, I mean, if you take a Blanton's and you say we're going to now we're going to make the MSRP on that $129.99.
You'll see it more.
You'll see it more. It'll start to show up on shelves. People will be like, all right, I'm not paying $130 for that. For a while, it's going to sell because people are going to be like, oh, I finally see it. Ooh. And stores are still going to mark it up from 130. But eventually you'll see it sitting for 130 because people will come to realize, guess what? That's not $130 bourbon. Then it becomes what you just said. It becomes the present bourbon. It becomes something that somebody wants to get for somebody because they think it's a great thing to buy them.
Right. Yeah. Prices are going up, which isn't a great thing, but also we're seeing I don't know if it's weird because I see a lot of prices going up, but I also see a lot of high prices on things that don't make sense. I mean, like a lot of craft stuff is priced high because of course they have to.
Right. Hi, Chris.
It just, I don't know, the way that the industry works is so strange. And I'll never understand it, but as a consumer, I'm like, I just want the best stuff, like the best value you can get. And I feel like we kind of get away from that sometimes. And I think that it's growing more and more to be like just trying to find limited edition stuff,
right?
And further away from finding the best value.
I'm actually, a lot of the things that I've been doing lately are I'm investing in buying more craft stuff, trying to find something that I feel is like, hey, you know what? That's a really good bottle. Hey, Thrasher, welcome to Destination Bourbon. Thanks, buddy, for becoming a member. I feel like that's the next iteration of bourbon. That's the next level of where we're going, is a lot of these craft distilleries and what they have to offer. They've got some amazing blenders. They've got some amazing people that are working at their places. Like on my stream, we had the Rye 3 guys with Matt, their master blender, who blends some incredible products. And I feel like that's the I think it was Amy Bohm that said that the distillers are the people that make the paint, and then the artists are the master blenders are the artists that paint the picture. And it feels a lot that way, that's what we're moving into, is some of these really cool craft distilleries that are doing some really great blends, because that's what's available to them. And I feel like that's where I want to try to give a shot to and find some of those diamonds in the rough, By the way, we just reached 201, and my record for having people on my stream was 195.
New record.
New record, 201. Thanks to Matt Porter,
That's
the man,
BS.
the myth, the legend.
That's BS. Good night, Julie. I hope that Dan's shoulder is so comfortable and that you both have a wonderful evening. You're the best. We'll talk soon.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh, geez, Louise. There they go. The likes just gone like that. Like the wind.
Just as quick as they came into our lives, it feels like they left.
So 2020 was the first was your first year of whiskey too, but you did your own blending experiment. Like you had your own bottling, and then the Junkies had their own for their first store pick, and just so jealous of you guys. That's such a cool thing. I'm jealous of your experience, and one of my goals for 2021 is to have my first like store pick or something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Maybe collaborate. That's the right word to think. Yeah. With you and the Junkies on something like that too would be a lot of fun. I don't know. That's such a neat thing and such a personal thing, like to be able to do that and then show people what you picked, see, or in your case, what the hell you blended, you made that yourself, and then they get feedback on it. I don't know. That's an exciting thing for me that I'm hoping to accomplish in 2021. How about you?
No, that's awesome, man. And your palate is one that's going to be able to have something cool. Not only you're going to be able to have your own blend in 2021, or your own store pick, but you're going to have your own blend with Steve Nally.
I just hope that it's I hope that it's available for purchase somewhere. I hope that that's the route that it takes, that it goes down that way.
Yeah, I do too. I want a bottle of that in a bad way. I've not even tried it, obviously, because it doesn't exist, but I still want one. I'm gonna pay whatever it costs. I want one.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, so for like me, it was weird because before this year, obviously, this whiskey didn't just show up overnight, right? I mean, I've been drinking whiskey and enjoying whiskey, but before really getting into YouTube and doing a lot of this stuff and being more intimate with you guys, I never realized that I even had a semi-decent palate. I just knew that I could taste. I'm like, okay, I can taste that, or I can taste this. This is good. This isn't good. The reason I don't like this is because it's too hot or too proofy or whatnot. I never really sat down and said, oh, well, this is what I feel. This year for me has been such a transition into understanding my palate. I've been in food for so long in my life, in my job, that I started to understand my food palate, and I didn't realize how easily that transitioned over to whiskey. So to be able to pull the same notes and be able to say why you enjoy that food is basically the same reason you enjoy a whiskey. Exactly. What you're pulling out of it and how that's affecting, your palate is basically the same, whether it's food or whiskey.
Dude, when you say a semi-okay palate, stop it. You're ridiculous and you know it.
I've been fortunate. I don't know that I'm ridiculous. Oh boy. Look at this show off. Look at this show off.
Bardstown Bourbon Company, Discovery Series 4. Maybe the best American whiskey of 2020?
Maybe.
What do you say? I don't know. I don't know about that, but
I wouldn't know. I don't have a bottle. I don't know anybody that works there or is able to get one.
If I was just able to get them, then no, these I don't even know the hell I was talking about because you're funny. But no,
do you read Richie Z? Richie Z says it's a total long shot, but why not start a distillery or even a blending company next couple of years with all the community as investors? I would be a part of it. That, Richie, would be incredible. Is that
kind of what the Whiskey Tribe does?
Well, they do a community. Is that what do they call it? A community blend, where they are crowdfunded. Is what they call it.
I mean, they're geez, I don't know. Their Patreon supports a lot of what they do. I know that.
Mhm.
They got a big Patreon. All their bottles are donated. I think that's kind of what they do, to be totally honest. A little Desert Jewel action. So you said you don't do a whiskey of the year video. Is that okay? If
I don't do whiskey reviews, Matt. I don't know if you've ever watched my channel before.
no, I know this. If a production company knocked on your door tomorrow and said, we're setting up, sit down, and we'd like to hear your top 10 bourbons of 2020. We'll produce it and edit it and put it out for you. At that point, are you a whiskey reviewer?
I would, if somebody's gonna do all that work for me.
It's just you're right. It's the process is hard to sit down to do it.
Well, it's that, and it's also that you guys do that, and you do it really good. The bourbon junkies do it well. You do it well. Shayla does it well. The Mash and Drum does it well. My Bourbon Journey does it well. You just keep naming them. Everybody that has channels does something similar to that, which is why I was so excited to take the idea of Destination Bourbon and bring something different, a travel vlog or something of that nature that's totally different, because there's so many people that already do this and do it well. And you have 10,000 people that follow you because they like you and the way that you talk about their bourbon, right? They love what you do. Your people may not be the same people as Chad and Sarah, right? Like those people that follow them like the way they do it. They may not like the way Matt Porter does it. And so it's like, I don't know that I want to jump into that convoluted game, I guess. Tim Evans says that you're the best whiskey taster in the business. Thanks, Tim Evans.
It's true. Is that a wobble glass?
I was wondering if you'd recognize that.
Well, that's the first time you've smelled bourbon all night. You haven't picked up a glass.
Desert Jewel smells so good.
That's your first pour there. But yeah, that Desert Jewel's freaking so good.
Oh my gosh. I could live in here.
I could live in here. We would both be happy.
That would be good places to live. Oh man. Yeah, I mean it's funny because there's everybody has their niche and the things that they want to do and what they want to bring to this society, for lack of a better term, right? Like we have a great society of people, and that's 11.6K, not 10K. Sorry, Bev. Matt's 11.6 thousand. 11,600 subs versus what this channel is amazing. And yeah, those people may be different from Chad and Sarah. So there we go. We got that reset, but
I can't stop a mom, dude. I
love your mom. Your mom's the best. She's a mod in my channel. I obviously love her. She's
a mod in my channel now too.
I mean, if you think about this, like put it all out there in perspective. You have 12,000 subs. The Bourbon Junkies, for lack of a better term, have 50,000 subs.
Craziness.
I mean, when we were all sitting in my basement a year and a half ago.
Yep.
What the Bourbon Junkies have? 8,000 subs? 6,000 subs?
I don't think they even had that. They
might not even had that. It was
at the end of their advent calendar. If they hit 3,000 subscribers at the end of their advent calendar, then they were going to give away another bottle of Buffalo Trace. I remember this. And then when was I in your basement? Was it February? Yeah,
January, February, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually, the tear they went on, they probably had like 6,000. Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, the growth has been explosive and warranted. They're doing great things. They're couldn't happen to two better people. I love those guys to death. I hope neither one of them are here because I don't want to hear me say that. But the growth that they've had is amazing. The way that they're tearing it up is great. And same with you. And what goes to show is that the hard work, the dedication, the stuff that you guys put in pays off, and you guys are being rewarded handsomely for it.
The only reason I'm in the position I'm in, or I'm at where I'm at, is because of them. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at, anywhere near where I'm at today. So it's like they basically they plowed the road. They plowed the road for people like me and people who started after them to kind of ride just a little toe strap to the back of their plow and just ride along with them, So yeah,
they plowed the road and then they drugged me behind their car, kicking and screaming because I didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, they're like, just grab on. Just hold
shut up. Hold my beer. Stanley Wagner Jr., thanks for the shout out. My first live was Christmas Eve with Hot Buttery Rolls, trying to arrange guests for lives at the Mash Bill on IG, practicing to get better. Thanks for the support. Stanley, I would love to do a live on your show with you, buddy. You just tell me the day and I'll be there. Nick the Greek, follow your heart and have fun. You can't go wrong. And that's what we do, man. That's what makes it great. And Alec chimed in and said the Bourbon Junkies have talked a lot of people into starting channels. And you know what's amazing? One of the cool things about those guys is that I've heard, like, and I probably shouldn't say names, but I will because it's who I am. Like, I've actually heard people in other people's chat say, "What should I do to start a whiskey channel? I want to do this." And I've heard people like Whiskey Dick say, "Don't. It's oversaturated. There's too many of us already. You shouldn't do it." And then guys like Dan and Sean are like, "Man, the more the merrier.
Mm-hmm.
Get in here. Jump in the pool. Get your feet wet. Just do what you can do to get out here and enjoy it. If this is something you feel like you want to do it, and have fun doing it." And that's the key. And I think that's why everybody that we have in this group, like this whole the Bourbon Illuminati, this whole Bourbon Illuminati is, it's largely because of what Dan and Sean have done to put it together.
Right.
But it's all like-minded people having a good time.
I agree. It's funny because watching them have such a good time makes you want to do it. You're like, that looks like so much fun. Like, sign me up for that. And then you start recording videos and they're like, there's just you, and you're like, oh, this would be way more fun because they look so much. But then you see comments and stuff, and everyone jumps on board eventually, or some people do. But no, those guys make it look like so much fun, and I think that's because they are having fun. It looks like they are genuinely having the best time, which makes me super happy for them because, like, they're super successful for being as deep as they are, and like they're enjoying it. They're like loving it. From like what I can tell, it doesn't look like they're miserable in any way. So day jobs suck. Drinking whiskey on the internet with friends does not suck.
So we started out talking about like what was like what of our best surprises and what are the things that we're most thankful for with the year 2020. And I wouldn't have started a channel without Dan and Sean. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. And so I'm probably most thankful for all the help and support and everything that they've given me. Great guys, and I appreciate them a ton. So they're amazing. They're amazing dudes and great friends.
Sean should still be fired.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, hands down.
100%.
I mean, he can be a great guy and be supportive in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely should be kicked off the show.
Oh, geez. Poor Sean. Just getting it all the time. Just getting it so hard.
So what's new for you in 2021? What's your plans? I mean, I'm personally, now that I ask you the question, I'm going to answer it. Personally, for me, I'm looking forward to actually doing what my channel's supposed to do. I'm looking forward to traveling and going out and doing some of these great things that I have all these ideas for, and seeing so many of these amazing people that are in chat and hanging out. I want to be a part of their lives and their areas and all of that stuff. But what do you see for you in 2021?
hopefully just good stuff. If you would have asked me that at the beginning of 2020, never would I have imagined that like what would happen in 2020 for this channel would have happened. So, I mean, I just want to, as far as the channel goes, just continue to do what I'm doing. Just meet more amazing people, see where this Bardstown thing goes. Like basically just continue on this cool journey. And then it's weird because it's like, I'm just waiting. It's like cool stuff is happening out of nowhere. And I just think that there's going to be more of that. Hopefully I have no idea. It's so hard to, I mean, I'm okay. I want to hit 1 million subscribers. I want to weigh 185 pounds, and I will not be happy unless both of those things happen. There.
Well, you're on your way. You're on your way to the 185, man. So keep that going.
Yeah, we're getting there. But those are some lofty goals.
So Maureen Franchi says, luckily Bourbon Junkies warmed up the pool for Destination Bourbon and ADHD whiskey chats to be so successful. Absolutely true. Thanks you for the super chat. Aiden Craig, scary cop dad energy to where we are today. Ain't that the truth? Bourbon Junkies, you too relax. People's channels work because of the people on the channel. Yeah, but sometimes there isn't a channel if they don't get shoved into the pool. And also Sean's miserable. Did you see the advent? I have not seen a ass kicking like that since the 0-16 Lions. That was something. Sean, buddy, you know, you are not helping Dan's ego to get your ass kicked like that, just so you know.
That was good. Dan did good. I felt like Sean needed that. A little too much Sean love lately. A little too much Team Sean I was seeing.
I feel like Sean needed that. Sean needed a drubbing like that.
Yeah, and the bigger Dan's ego gets, the more fun it is. Let's just leave it at that. If Dan all of a sudden like walked into the, you know, the hut just depressed and just feeling down on himself, just not in a good mood anymore, and then we had to lean on Sean for entertainment and like braggadocious behavior. Wow, bad day for the Bourbon Junkies channel. So just build Dan's ego up as big as it can get.
I like braggadocious. I like that term, braggadocious.
Don't even know if it's the right word, but
I don't either, but I like it. Braggadocious.
Dan's really good at being obnoxiously correct, and it's the best. I love it. That's why Team Dan all the way, 100%.
You know, one of the greatest things about Dan is that he can be obnoxiously correct and obnoxiously wrong, and for some reason you're not mad at him when he's wrong. You're like, I guess he was just wrong. No big deal. I don't know how he pulls it off.
When he's wrong, I don't even see that as he's just less right. It's kind of the way I look at it.
There we go.
You know,
I love it. JG, I have to go back to work. Good night, all. JG, thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate it. The term is insufferable, and you are right, Brian Casey. That is a good term. Dan can be insufferable.
And I love when Sean says that word because it's the way his disdain and like he says it the way it's meant to be said. It's pure honesty. Just love it so much.
That's actually my favorite part about Sean is his lack of ability to hide his disdain for what Dan's doing. Like he can't even pretend to mask it a little bit. There's sometimes that I literally think he just wants to turn his head, look him in the eye, and go, "I hate you." Even though he doesn't, he loves him like a brother. I mean, they're best friends, obviously, but there's times that I guarantee you that he just wants to kick him right in the balls. Yeah, Dan, I did hit a new chat record tonight. Thanks, brother.
Just nailing it. Just
killing it.
It's the new logo. Is what's put you over the top.
Yeah. So this logo again. Let's just keep stroking Dan. This logo is a finalization, and it is a Christmas present from my buddy Dan Shook. So he asked me what I wanted. I told him what I wanted, as I told a couple other designers what I wanted. And he's like, I've got an idea along the lines of what you want. And he came back with something similar to this. It was a little too cartoony. I didn't like. And then he came back with something else, and he came back with this. And I'm like, ooh, I really like that. We made a couple of tweaks to it, changed some colors, and boom, logo. So again, my dude, thank you. The logo is awesome. Allowed me to put some merch out. I've got to get some Glens ordered for my patrons. So I'm super excited for everything, the way that everything's progressing. And I don't know. I'm really looking forward to 2021. I know you are too.
In your Glen mission, if you find anybody who like drop ships or like does like what's the right word? Basically, wow. Jeez. Sometimes my brain works and 99% of the time it doesn't, but who fulfills orders, let me know, because that's what I'm looking for too. I need to order some Glens, but it's hard to order 75 Glens and then pack them and ship them all yourself.
Yeah.
It's just it's a nightmare.
I think so Dan hooked me up with his people. I think they fulfill the orders.
Oh, gotcha.
So if that is indeed the case, I'll get you that information as well.
All right. Yeah, I thought that guy was like super busy or something, so I didn't even ask. But I guess everybody's super busy. Maybe I'll just suck it up and just order a case of them and move them around the country a bunch of times.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Just keep packing them in totes and moving them around.
The wobble glasses have seen so much of the country.
Right. They're always experiencing more and more of the country.
Oh, yeah. Huge
congrats on the new record. Barrel Raised is your guy. You just need to wait till holidays are over. Yes, Barrel Raised is the guy, and but I just yeah. So when I get they're back in the office on January 10th, and I've already reached out to them. I sent them my logo. They reached back out to me and said, "Yep, totally doable." So I'm super excited for that. So thanks again for that, Danny boy.
So cool. There's I was gonna mention this earlier, but the reason I'm dressed like this is because I'm shooting my videos for of the years after we're done tonight. So it's gonna be a 3-video night, and I felt that it's necessary for me to look the part when just handing out these awards. It's going to be top 10 lists, and I just feel like these companies, when the World's Top Whiskey Taster, which officially I am now, it's my title. When I start handing out awards, they're going to want to put that probably on their website and front and center on their bottle, hanging tags, special boxes, and when they watch my video, I want to look presentable, because maybe they'll put a sweater vest on their bottle. That would be a nice touch.
That would be awesome.
So I'm expecting a flood of emails after these videos drop from, distillers asking, what steps they need to take to put my award on their bottle. And I feel like a sweater vest is the most presentable way. And the parted hairdo. I've combed it. And
Carrie says you look super handsome.
Thanks.
Wow.
I'm terrible at compliments. If she said I looked less like shit, that made me feel better. I would have a better response.
So back in, I don't know if you're a sports, you're not really a sports guy much, but Ohio State had a coach called Jim Tressel.
That's what he was called?
Well, his name is Jim Tressel, but people called him the Vest.
Oh.
Because he always wore a vest. It's kind of like people call Bill Belichick the hoodie, because he always wears a hoodie. So like you could be the vest of whiskey. Like people would just be calling Matt Porter the sweater vest.
The best whiskey taster on the planet.
The vest of all the vest.
Jeez Louise. No, so I own 2 sweater vests, and I need to make like 3 videos. So pretty much perfect.
Well, just so you know, you ever put a little bit of bleach in the water and all of a sudden you've got a different color sweater vest.
It's a good point. It's just less brown.
Yep, pretty simple. You just lighten it right up.
Uh, Barn Door says, when are you doing a top 10 fans list? I can't do that. You know I can't do that. I can't put Barn Door 10 times on a list and expect no one to get mad.
And, well, you could put all of Barn Door's aliases on there.
Barn Door, Brandor, Bran, Porter Wilson 2020.
Porter Wilson 2020, yeah.
And the hundreds that we don't even know are him.
So one thing that I'm working on to put on our on the merch is a shirt that I think some of you people will get off on. But it's a Queen Carrie fan club shirt. So getting that figured out exactly how we're going to put that together and throw that out on the site too. So I saw Trev posted the Teespring. Thank you for that, Trev. I appreciate that. We'll have the Queen Carrie fan club t-shirt, sweatshirt, whatever, for whatever one of you weirdos decide you want to order that shirt. I don't know why you would, but
if it comes in a tube top, I'm in.
I could get you a tube top.
Nice.
Just
what
for you.
Tube tops. Tube tops were the bomb.
Were they?
I thought so. I liked them.
The tube tops died with what was the one piece leotard. That's like an 80s thing, right?
Was it? I don't think it was 80s. Was it? Oh, maybe. Possibly.
I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Our queen is kind. You people. Tell you what. We also want an Amanda shirt. Jeez. The girl's on the show one time. What is happening here? This is how it works. You let the girls on the show, they take everything over, Matt. There's nothing you can do about it. Tube top with syrup bottles. Jeez. She should have her own syrup store pick for sure. Like I don't know, just a Carrie syrup. I'd buy a Carrie syrup for sure. So Alec wants me to set up a blind syrup taste off for Carrie. And the one that she chooses to be the best, then we can release that as the Carrie brand syrup. See if I could partner with somebody. I'm like, this is getting out of control. Syrup? But then you just said the same thing. I'd buy Carrie syrup. I don't ever use syrup. My kids use it sometimes. But, I mean, it's a funny thing. It's just funny. And, she seems to be on board with it. She definitely digs it. She definitely digs it. I mean, it could be worse. It's syrup. It's a little bit of sugar. It's fine. Right. It's not like I was going to name a bunch of hard street drugs, but then I decided not to. It's not crack or heroin. Carrie's crack of the month. You know what? I'm looking at the merch that Trevor just put back up there, and I realized something. I still don't have my ADHD whiskey or my Trev Wilson challenge coin. My life is in disarray right now that I don't have those two challenge coins. I don't have my Whiskey Central either. So all three of you, I'm in your levels that I should have those, and I don't have them. And I'm starting to wonder, I'm starting to contemplate my own life choices. Like, what's happening? What happened in my life? The Brew Bakers don't have their coin from me either. Don't know why. Chris Bragg doesn't have his coin from me because I literally just found an envelope with his name on it and no coin in it. He hasn't said a word, but I just saw that and I'm like, why did what? Because I didn't have it. There was some of them I didn't have addresses for because they weren't put in the PayPal notes, which is the biggest pain in the ass, by the way. Sure. So, because then it's you're trying to look everywhere. I know I sent him something before, got to find it. But so I set his aside at one point, and then guess what? Just saw it today, and I was like, Chris Bragg, no address, no coin. Son of a B. Sorry, Chris. I love you. The thing that makes me the saddest about yours is that your coins are numbered, and I know that you had my number sent to me, and if it's lost somewhere in the mail, that means that my number coin is just not going to be at my house, and it's going to make me even more sad. Tell you what, if it doesn't show up, I'll send you 21 coins. Nope.
Just to make up for it.
Don't do that. Just
Okay.
send me the one, but hopefully 21 actually does finally show up here somewhere.
Let's hope so. Jeez Louise. What other types of merchandise would I mean, oh, you know what, I got these the other day. I don't know if I showed anybody or not. Break. Oh, you know the sound of something that you knocked that might fall when you move? I'm afraid that if I move this chair, something's going to hit the ground.
Oh, really? It cracked?
Okay, nothing. Good. Look at these things. The Minnesota Whiskey Elite guy sent me this for like their calendar. It's the Cairncraft. They are the
Did they get
toppers.
Did they get better? They don't smell anymore?
Oh yeah, I did. You did see that.
Yeah, you told me that. Like you and I were chatting after our stream on Wednesday.
Okay, this doesn't smell strong. I left them out for a while, and I rinsed them.
I think the idea is amazing if they don't stink.
Right. Which I mean, I think they make glass ones too. But I liked the their bamboo. I like the bamboo kind of. It's just cool little.
Yeah, I love the bamboo. I love your name or your logo, like kind of burned into the top of it. I mean, it looks sweet.
They probably use so much fire for that.
So much fire.
Just the hottest. Yeah, I love these things. It's like there are cool things out there that I'm starting to see. Oh, what is that? You son of a bee. Oh, it's a 7-year though. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I was gonna drink something I knew that you could drink.
I can't drink that.
I gave you this.
I know, but I can't drink it.
It's gone.
No, it's just all my whiskey's in totes, dude, in the basement.
You left that one in totes?
Yeah, it's in a locked tote.
Oh, well, I guess all right if it's locked.
It's just like I can't. Do you think I bring up all of my whiskey every time I go?
No, I thought you just put out like certain bottles that like. I mean, you've got Knob Creek. You've got 2 Knob Creeks sitting behind you. If I had a choice, I'd have 1 Pingree over both those Knob Creeks. That's just you have a wilderness trail. It looks like back there too. Definitely would put a Pingree up ahead of that.
There are perfectly good reasons for all of this.
It's your story, bro.
I will happily tell you all about it later. Like happily.
All right.
Can't go into detail, but there's reasons. And yeah. But no, I got this. This is always up. This is always with me. It's always
That's a hell of a bottle there. What's that say on the side?
It's kind of wearing off a little bit because I'm handling it so much, but it says the first line, I think it says Tomat, but it's the world's greatest something taster. Can't tell. Love you, Bunny. Gray marker. Why did you call me Bunny?
I said, buddy. You must have kind of wiped some of that off too.
It says I'm the world's greatest key taster. That's really strange. I don't particularly enjoy the taste of keys, but I am very good at tasting them.
You're the best at it. Best in the world, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is always around.
Jamie B says, I want a taste of what Matt's holding. What are the tasting notes on that, by the way?
I don't know. What are the tasting notes, Klein? Did you ever release notes with yours?
I never did release notes on that, but what Matt is holding in his hand is, as far as I know, one of the world's first wheated ryes. It's a 60% 4-year MGP rye and a 40% 6-year MGP wheat.
Is it a wheat whiskey or a wheated bourbon?
Wheated bourbon. No. Yes, wheated bourbon. Yep. And so the wheated bourbon that we put in it literally tasted like candy. It was Skittles and like fruity candy, like super sweet. And then it got to like halfway down your palate and just disappeared. And it was so good, and you were so excited, and you're like, what just happened? And then on the other side of the coin, the rye was so amazing, but the front of the palate was lacking. As it hit mid palate, it started to really dance and kick up and got that spice going, and it really held on with a really long Kentucky hug.
Mhm.
So the thought was, what if we blended them together? And Gary Franchi, I'm so glad that you said the Pandemic Specialist Tropical Skittles, because that's exactly what I get off it.
Oh my gosh.
Tropical Skittles.
Okay. I don't mean to interrupt you. I've said this to you before, that there's something about it that I was like, it's something that's weird in it. And I couldn't put my finger on it. Okay, Skittles, love them. Tropical Skittles are like, they're like the weirdest. Like, I completely forgot that they existed.
Oh yeah, the blue bag of Skittles, I love those. Those are one of my favorites, which totally makes sense to me why I love this whiskey the way I do, because that's one of my favorite Skittles is the blue bag of tropical Skittles. And I don't like to eat them individually like regular Skittles. I eat each flavor separately. Tropical Skittles, I eat them all together.
You just use the bag as like a vessel for pouring. Exactly. Yep. One of my other, I know we're going back and forth here. Like, we're talking about surprises of the year. One thing I learned in 2020 that I did not know about, that I now love, and I need more of in my life, is light whiskey. Dude, okay. This may or may not make an appearance on like my best of lists, but this is an Obtainium light whiskey. It's a 14-year MGP light whiskey. It's at 147 proof, and it is like peppered grape friggin' rock candy. So good. It's amazing. And it's like fat kid bourbon or fat kid whiskey. It's so candy. I love it.
I'm excited to try that. I want to try to get my hands on some of that. Some of the light whiskey I had now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Ryan Alves told me that one of the old Carters was mainly light whiskey, or was blended with a light whiskey, and is absolutely freaking amazing. And I've had 2 or 3 other light whiskeys, and I'm like, holy shit, this is so good. I don't understand why this is so good, but it is. And you saying that about Obtainium is the same exact thing, or Unobtainium, whichever one it is. I don't know which one it is.
It's called Obtainium. It's Cat's Distillery stuff, but I know there's like other light whiskeys out there from that people source from MGP. I'm not sure like the brands, but I've seen store picks of it. It's all typically really high proof, older aged, because I think they're aged in used barrels for the most part. Yep. So, but man, the flavors that come off of that, even in used barrels, it's just crazy. So good.
It is. It's crazy good. It's sweet like candy. It's just. Jeremy Riley wants to know if all of the hand deliveries for my bottle have gone out. Yes, sir. Yours went out just before Christmas because I didn't have your address, and you were one of the last people to send me your address. The only hand delivery that hasn't been sent out is Mr. William Ravas, because he is waiting on some cigars that I am waiting on that are also going to go into his box. But other than that, they're all out. Except for Maureen Franchi's little bottle that she won. That hasn't gone out yet, but she knows why. Amy Bohm wants to know, are there any commonly available light whiskeys?
Not that I know of. I know that you can buy that Obtainium online. If you I think it's like through a website called Haskell's. It's in Minnesota. It's like Haskell's or something. But I think they have it available online in a couple places. But I've never seen a light whiskey in a store that's actually labeled a light whiskey. Never have.
Never have either. But
it's so weird.
I know. I think, honestly, I just think it has a bad rap. I think that's part of the, it's not, people know bourbon, people know whiskey, and then to have a regular whiskey that's aged in a used barrel and is young, it basically has so many negatives against it that I don't know why people would market it, but for some reason it hits my palate well. Like, I really like it.
Yeah, it's apparently there's a lot of it out there too, like for that that like people are buying up for blending and stuff like that. But it's enjoyable, and it's a butt kicker too. 147 proof. Like, what is that even all? What's that all about? It doesn't even drink that hot. It drinks not that hot at all. But still,
I think it's because of the candy sweetness of it up front. Mm-hmm. It masks your palate. So like where you would normally get something that has either a bitter note or a rye type of spice. So spice enhances heat. Mm-hmm. The candy kind of balances it out and masks it a little bit. So you have that sweetness that disguises how hot it really is. And then bam, you're like, whoa, holy shit, that's got some kicker to it.
It's also just a funny thing to read that proof on something. But like I tasted a blind once, like in this advent calendar actually, and then when I saw the proof on it, I was like, good grief, like what the heck?
Maureen Franchi says, yep, I know why. Looking forward to getting it. So it was funny because I messed up and I put a bunch of, we've been doing different streams on different channels and all this stuff. And I'm waiting for people to send me addresses from their channels, the stuff I gave away. You know how it is. Yeah. I gave this away and I got to send it to where and how's that going to work? So I've got a pile in the back room of stuff that needs to go to different places. I've got sticky notes by everybody's name. And in doing so, I completely forgot to send Maureen Franchi's bottle that she won on my channel. So I was talking to Gary and I'm like, hey, to make up for it, I'm going to send you like this, and this. And he's like, dude, you can forget to send me shit anytime you want. He's like, if this is how you're going to make up for it, you're in, man. Send me anything you want. That's Alex said the proof is always higher on light whiskey. That's why a lot of us like it. His bottle is 139.6.
Yeah, I mean, if it were proofed down, then guess what? Don't sign me up for it.
No. Josh Pence said he saw Backbone light whiskey last week at 146. What's Backbone? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, that's so there's Backbone Bourbon, and then there's the what the hell is the name of that rye that we really, the store pick rye that we have? The
Bone Snapper.
Bone Snapper rye is like the same company as Backbone Bourbon, and then there's Backbone light whiskey. So it's all sourced stuff. Like they just source stuff. But
Fred Minnick said that light whiskey came out in the 80s or 90s to compete with vodka and it failed. So they mostly go to Canada for blending. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. If it's that high, I can see why I would go somewhere for blending.
But it's good.
It's very good. Very, very good. They just marketed it to the wrong people. They should have marketed it to us degenerates instead of the housewives.
Right, yeah, because back in the day when brown liquor was failing, they had to do something.
What would your bourbon local food pairing have been for the Bardstown Challenge? That's a great question. I'll tell you what Matt's wouldn't have been, what he chose, because he didn't get a choice. They just told him what his food pairing was.
Well, it was it was all based on your location, so that's why mine was the White Clam pizzas, because I was from Connecticut, apparently.
Well, mine probably would have been, they probably would have done something with like Coney dogs or some shit, right? Yeah. Michigan, they would have been like Detroit Coney, Lafayette Coney or some.
Mine really realistically would have been a pasty, like a meat pie, a pasty.
For sure.
If that was actual my location, that's what. And I'm happy that I got White Clam pizza instead of a pasty.
Yeah, a pasty would be difficult, man, because it's heavy and so what do you got? Like traditionally meat in a meat and potatoes inside a pasty, right? It's kind of like it's like a handheld pot pie.
Yeah, it's so there's a crust like a dough, and then ground beef, typically onion, potato, rutabaga, and then it's seasoned, and then some people eat it with ketchup and some people eat it with gravy, depending on if you're correct and eat it with ketchup or incorrect and eat it with gravy. So
no shit. I have never in my life eaten one with ketchup, so I'm obviously incorrect.
Oh my gosh, I need to send you, since I'm up here, I need to get some pasties, some frozen ones, and send them down to you.
Yeah, dude, I've only ever eaten them with gravy. If anyone had ever suggested ketchup, I'd have been like, no thanks. insane.
But I don't honestly to pair a whiskey with that would have been. I'd have a much more difficult time.
God, what would you even? I'm trying to think of something. I mean, I don't. Whiskeys aren't perfectly paired with meat anyway. It's more of a Scotch thing that works with meat. I don't.
It's just with the rutabaga and potato mixed with the meat and then the tang of the ketchup. Like it's weird. It'd be
So you've got like a spice level with the rutabaga, like a crunch and a spice, and then you've got ground beef, and then you've got potato. Holy crap, that would have been tough, dude. I don't even know.
Yeah, see, I mean, just thinking about it, no matter which way my brain goes, it's telling me no.
Bev, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I don't know. I didn't grow up with pasties. I will be more than happy to try one with ketchup. I just didn't. That's what us flatlanders down here we we put gravy on because we don't know any better.
You're like, I guess gravy.
That's how it's served. I mean, there's a place in town, Shire's Deli, that does pasties, and they serve them with gravy. You just eat them that way because that's what they come with.
It's offensive.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and tip over tables, and then this COVID's over. No, they're gonna ask me why, and I'm gonna ask them where the hell's the ketchup.
I mean, yeah, you should just ask them for it. Like, keep your gravy.
Jack sauce. You can keep your Jack sauce.
Jeez. Oh man. So do you have any good New Year's plans for next weekend, or what do you?
Yeah, I don't know that there's anything really to do. Did Cliffy reach out to you about going on his New Year's show?
Yes. So basically I'm live on Friday, and he's doing his on New Year's Eve on Thursday.
Yeah.
But I told him, like, dude, I don't make the decisions around here based on like what we're doing. So I can't like realistically say that I can be there because I might not be able to be.
Yeah.
I haven't been told what we're doing yet. So we might, who knows, we might go over to my sister-in-law's. We might, I just don't know. So I couldn't commit to it, but I might shoot a little short video for him to use, but yeah, I do what I'm told for the most part.
Yeah, we're basically the same boat. I'm with Carrie not feeling so hot. I don't know if we're gonna hang out with a few of our local friends or not. And I basically told him the same thing. I'm like, I'm gonna try to make it. He's just, I don't know. He's such a sweet dude, just a good, genuine person. That it's like I want to do what I can to be on his show and help him out. What did you just drink?
What the heck? That Jack Daniel's rye.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I forgot that's what was in there.
Did you ever seen the original, the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he like
Kindergarten Cop.
To the
Twins.
moon. No, stop saying things. Oh my god, I can't think of it. Total Recall. Did you ever see the original Total Recall?
No.
So with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's got this fake head, and he goes through. He's a woman, and he goes through customs, and his head malfunctions, and it starts making all these weird faces.
Uh-huh.
The faces you just made were identical to the weird head Total Recall face malfunction that's happening. Your eyes bugged out. I would never have guessed you were drinking Jack Daniels based off of those faces.
Oh, no, because I just came off of something else that wasn't that.
2 weeks. Yeah, see, these guys know it. 2 weeks. They're like asking him, how long are you going to be in Mars? He's like, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He starts moving his mouth around. His eyes get all contorted. That's what you look like, dude.
Well, I wasn't expecting it. And when it comes to my expressions, I won't hold back. I just let my face do whatever it's gonna do.
I gotta have a little of this Jack Daniels. See if my face contorts the way yours did.
Well, first forget that that's what you're about to drink, and then it was a nice size sip. That was wow. You know what's really weird about that is
God, this smells so good.
that was actually the first time that I got that. I call it a red wine note, like the barrel
You
tan.
call it a red wine note. Nobody else does. I never
know.
get it off Jack Daniels.
Because I don't know what it is. Like I don't know what other people would consider it, but like that's what that's the bell that rings in my head. But that was the first time I got it on this.
Oh, Shelf Turds. Hey, David. Good to see you, buddy. I was talking about you earlier. Haven't seen you yet. Glad you're here.
What up, dude? Friggin' Shelf.
So anyway, on the live stream, I'm gonna try to make it because, like I said, Cliffy's just such a good dude. So
He is.
I want to kind of go and hang out with him for a little bit. And I mean, if we don't have anything going on, hell, I'll be there the whole time. I'll be drinking and probably giving away shit that somebody will have to remind me the next day that I said I'd give it away. And we'll go with that. So Hot Buttery Rolls, did you ever hear this story, Matt?
Yeah, I watched every single Hot Buttery Rolls live stream. If I couldn't make it the entire 6 hours, I'd catch the rest in the morning. And I was watching the one where you're like, tomorrow I'm coming back. And when I come back, I'm giving away an entire wall of Blantons.
He goes, dude, you said you're going to give away 2 Blantons. I go, I don't have 2 Blantons. I said, you have to understand, man, I'm used to having as many Blantons as I want. Like the bunker's always full of them. They're not able for me to get anymore. And so like if somebody was always like, they want something, like, I'll get you Blantons, no problem. So apparently my brain reverted back to me having Blantons, and I was just I'll get them away, no problem. Well, I don't happen to give them away. So what else can I give away, buddy? I'll make it up to you. He's like, don't worry about it, man. You're cool.
That's so funny. How about Fighting Cock? We've got a few of those on the shelf. We can revert back to some Fighting Cock.
Oh my God. Sugar Kitty says HBR is getting close to 1,000. He could use our help.
Yeah, he's over 850 now.
We need to get him. We need to get him to 1,000, man. If anybody in here is not subscribed to Chris Hot Buttery Rolls, one of our 10,000 mods in here, please drop. I don't know how Hot Buttery Rolls is not a freaking mod in here. I'm gonna have to fix that. That's all what I need is more mods. If anybody can drop Chris's link, feel free to leave my stream, subscribe, and then come back, because I want you guys to subscribe. He is probably, outside of Matt and myself, the funniest guy in Whiskey Tube.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe above you and I.
Yeah.
Or at least me.
No, dude, you don't give yourself enough credit. You're hilarious.
I honestly, I love Chris. He's a great dude. Just a great dude.
He is. Ah, man. He's like me living a different life. I feel it.
I loved his advent calendar idea though. And he goes, dude, I took it from you. I'm like, I don't do an advent calendar. He's like, no, just the fact that you don't do videos. He's like, I thought, why not? I'm just gonna stream an advent every day. I'm like, that's fantastic.
Exactly.
I love it.
I knew you'd love that idea. Like,
oh, I did. Absolutely loved it.
I'm just gonna press go live instead of doing all the editing and like. Oh man,
I spend the most time on my videos on the thumbnails.
They're hard too because you want to make them so that people like the advent calendar. My thumbnails for the advent calendar, I hated my life after day 8 because I was just taking like screenshots of, and I was like, okay, we're done here. Like I don't even know what to do anymore. So bad.
New subscriber to HBR. Thank you, Brian Casey. Love it. You're not going to be disappointed either. He's hilarious. I love Chris.
Lots of tattoos also. If you're into tattoos, he's got them for days.
And and beautiful wavy hair. If you're into that, you're obviously in the wrong channel. But he's got that too.
Everyone in here is like, that's where we go for the hair. Okay. Perfect.
So Tuesday, I'm going to be on with my bourbon journey. I don't know why Scott wants to get his ass kicked again, but he's saddling up for another ride. We have a blind from Hendo, William Henderson, that was supposed to be in a while ago, but Scott didn't get it in time. So now we're finally doing that blind.
Hendo, also the MVP himself, sent me a flight to Detroit, and I got there about 2 days after I moved.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, I just did that. I forgot what I was drinking.
Yeah, that
dried my whole mouth out.
it really climbs the ladder. It's like whoa, and then it's
I literally went from drinking Mayor Pingree 7 to that, and just in my brain I was still drinking Pingree 7, and wow, that is aggressive. That's an aggressive rye.
In a great way, though, to me.
Oh, it's fantastic, but it did okay. Oh, all right. Son of a bitch.
What?
I got a wine note off that.
On the very end?
As I was done and I was just like finishing it.
Now. It's on the very back of the tongue on both sides.
So I got it the last time right now. As the I don't know how, I know everybody's palate is different, but for me, like when I get the burn on my tongue, it works its way down. And so as it starts to go away, so as the burn, like I can feel the burn like here and work its way down on my actual tongue and then start to go away. That's where I got that wine note.
So
it was right as it ran off the back of my tongue.
Do you have a Jack Daniel's barrel proof there? Like a regular? Just humor me and just the tiniest little bit. Just take a sip of it and see if now that you know what you're looking for, if you get it on that too.
Just regular single barrel?
The barrel proof.
The gold one?
Yeah, the barrel proof.
Answer the question.
I said yeah, and then I reiterated the fact that it literally says barrel proof right on the front. I'm getting sassy.
Ooh, God, that smells. Tell you what, anybody wants to screw you up in a blind, give them a blind of black Jack Daniel's single barrels.
Not me. Don't do it to me if you want to screw me up, because I'll call it immediately.
Well, you will because of that finish. Whiskey Central rising above all tasters. #Prodigy. She's amazing. Yep. Not only is she amazing, but she's the sweetest girl. Maureen Franchi, welcome to Destination Bourbon. I'm so glad to have you.
I tried to set up that members thing on mine, and I couldn't figure it out. Just couldn't do it.
That's actually got a little nuttiness to it.
Yeah, a little bit. But wait for it. It'll come.
It's kind of flat compared to this.
Is it?
I think that's the problem. Is I had that single barrel. Now I'm going to that rye and going to this. It's a little flat.
Yeah, I was just seeing if you picked up on the same thing, because
the difference is, I don't want to stick my tongue out, but on the bottom part back of my tongue is where I get that down there, like on the back bottom part. And with this finishing a little flat right now, it's not stimulating that part of my tongue.
Oh, gotcha. It's so weird to me that
I just swish it around a little bit.
So like the advent calendar, they sent me a Jack Daniel's Heritage barrel. A single, like the 100 proof one. And
Mommy's going to bed.
Oh, I love you, Mom. Good night.
Love you, Bev. Have a good night.
Tell Dad hi, say hi. She's the best. She just hangs out and watches us and doesn't even drink whiskey.
She's so great.
I still wonder if my dad listens or watches. while he's drinking whiskey. I don't know. I'll have to find out.
I still didn't get it, Matt.
So weird. I don't understand.
I switched it around, and I got a little bit of burn on my tongue, but I did that little bit that I just got off that single barrel is the only time ever that I've gotten any sort of a wine finish on a Jack Daniel's.
Oh my gosh. It's so apparent to me that I can, if I get like, I can just call it out. I'm like, oh, I think that's Jack Daniel's because of this, and I'm right. Klein, am I the world's top whiskey taster? Like, am I the best? That's crazy.
I think that if I had the magic 8-ball in front of me, it would say all signs point to yes.
Oh, that's so funny.
I mean, that's just kind of how it's working.
It's so weird. That
Edward Fulmer says that he passed up on a C920 like 3 times. I haven't even seen it yet, and you just named it as like the most amazing whiskey ever. So
unbelievable. Have you tried it yet?
I haven't tried it. Haven't seen it.
I didn't going into the barrel proof flight. I didn't think that it was going to win because I tasted it by itself and I was like, "This is incredible." And then I tasted it against, a bunch of other barrel proof stuff, and it blew all those out of the water. And then I tasted it against the best stuff, and it was on another level again. It's crazy. I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm interested in trying. I was only chuckling because Alex said for the longest time I thought Bev was another barn door account.
Oh my gosh. That's my mama.
No, she's real. She's real.
Thank goodness he wasn't rude to her.
Right. So Nate, he wants to know exactly what do you mean by wine on the finish? I'll let Matt answer it since you asked him.
Wow. Okay, so let me answer the question that I can't answer because it's probably wrong. There is on the very end of the finish of it, there's the flavor of what I would consider to be. I'm not a big wine drinker, but it's something that I would consider to be a red wine. It's a little bit drying, and it tastes like a red wine on the very back sides of my tongue, down my throat a little bit. It just leaves this very, very particular taste, and I don't get it on anything else. It's the only thing I taste it on, and I taste it on every single one of their products. And I taste it on their products when I taste them blind, or if I pour them. And I've heard that it might be like some oak tannins or something. I think that they have their own cooperage, right? Doesn't Jack Daniel's have their own cooperage?
They do. Yep.
So I wonder if it's something that they do with their barrels. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. But
all tannins affect everyone differently. And Dustin, thank you for joining Destination Bourbon. Like the tannins that you get from the oak in wine, those tannins affect me differently than they do you. Like you taste them. Some people can't drink. They can. There's something you can put into wine to take the tannins out. So there's like all tannins are different. So it's how it affects you. So honestly, you and I could probably drink the same wine, and we'd have different taste profiles of it. Is what I'm thinking, because you're pulling something out of there that I don't associate with wine. The other thing is that I don't drink a lot of wine. So I don't have a lot to compare it to because I don't particularly enjoy wine. It's not for me. I don't like it. So
that's funny because if I started like tasting different red wines, I'd probably say, oh, that's not what that tastes like at all.
Right. That's probably true too.
It's just what I associate with my remembering of red wine, and that's it. But that's how tasting works. It's all just remembering tastes of things you've had before.
Oh, for sure. So when I got this that wine, and Shelfter said vodka takes the tannins out of wine, and I don't know that David's a really smart dude, but I don't know that I can trust anything he says. When I got it off of this Jack Daniel's, I feel like I got it because it completely dried my mouth out. And then I got some funky finish that I didn't get the first time that I drank this. And I think I associated that dryness with with wine. Not necessarily accurately, but I think that's what I did.
Paul Liedber, geez, I'll let you take that one, the last name. But he says perhaps a product of charcoal mellowing. Maybe.
That's Ledebur.
Oh, that sounds so hot when you say it.
Ledebur.
Paul, can you say Paul sexy though? I don't know if you can do that.
Paul.
But no, maybe that's it. Maybe that's some sort of Kingsford I get on the back end. Who knows?
It's the non what's the lighter fluid charcoal smell?
Yeah. Something flame, instant flame away. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I bought any of that stuff.
Maybe that's what I'll just call it a Kingsford finish. That's just what I'll.
I went back to that again without knowing it.
But you knew it.
No, because I switched from the wobble glass that had the Jack Daniel's single barrel, and I went back to what was in that rye.
Yeah.
It's so different. See, it's Ledebur. Ledebur.
You know, you got it wrong too. It's this Ledebur.
You're right. I did not get anywhere near excited enough on the burr.
No, because he put in the pronunciation was this face.
He did. Yep. Ledebur.
Gee, Eric Hessler says, "When's the next Patreon hangout? I got absolutely schlammered last time." Yeah, geez. We should do one soon. But man, it's those tend to turn into long nights of just.
My problem with Patreon hangouts, and so I'm trying to set something up with my cigar lounge, my local cigar lounge, is that when I do a Patreon hangout, when I'm actually hanging out and having some whiskey, I'd like to have a cigar and just kind of chill, and can't do that in the basement. And I sure as heck am not going to sit and freeze my butt off in my garage and do it. So I'm trying to set something up with a cigar lounge to do a whiskey night with the local group here. And he already gave me the okay to do that in January. We can set that up. I would love to be able to go there one night and just have him let me do a cigar hangout and have a Patreon thing where we stream, get the smoke in his lounge and hang out and do everything. But I don't know that we're that good of friends yet. I'm working on it.
Is that where you got all hammed up on Wednesday?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you noticed on the stream that I drank water like the whole night, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Yep, I came home and I thought, oh boy, last thing I need to do is have any more whiskey right now. I need to settle down. Tyler back 1,000. So, well, Maddie, I know you've got a lot of videos to shoot, so I don't want to keep you. I appreciate you coming on so much, dude. I love you more than you'll ever know, even though you know I love you a ton. So
I love you back. I love you back more than you'll ever know. And I feel like I need to be a better friend to you somehow. And I can't. I just want to. I feel like I want to be a better friend to everybody. Jeez. I just love you, dude. You're the best. You've always been the best.
You're a great friend to me. You're a great ambassador for this whole community. I'm so excited to see what 2021 is going to bring for you in Bardstown and
weird.
All of this stuff. It's going to be super exciting. And so I personally, as much as 2020 wasn't that great or sucked or whatever it was a pretty good year for Whiskey Tube. And I'm ecstatic to see what 2021 is going to bring for everybody in this community. And we're going to be able to blow you guys all away. I hope you guys are all geared up and strapped in for 2021.
Because we have the best ideas.
Totally the best ideas.
It's great to say. It sounds awesome to say it. You won't believe what we have in store for you in 2021.
It's going to blow your mind.
No idea. No.
Thrasher says, good night, boys. Good night, everyone. And we're going to say the same thing. Good night, everyone. We love you all so much. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for supporting Destination Bourbon. Thank you for supporting ADHD Whiskey.
AlecBradley.com.
For everything.
Alec Bradley, the best cigars on the planet.
If you don't support Alec Bradley, what are you doing with your life? That's all I got to say.
Not supporting the best cigar company on the planet.
Yeah, because, there are a whole bunch of people that make cigars, and then there's Alec and Bradley. I mean, it's just the love fest between you two. Maureen Franchi, I love you. We love everyone. It's love, 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 love.
All day, every day.
Caitlin Brubaker says, fantastic live stream. Great way to end the last DB live stream of 2020. I agree with you, Caitlin.
I wish Carrie
no
would
one
just show
else
up
that
and
I
just,
would rather have on here than my boy Matty P.
or Carrie.
Or Carrie. Or I'll just rather have her yell at me from the top of the stairs.
Shouldn't have put her in timeout, dude.
I-
All right. I love you, man.
I love you
too.
You guys are the best. And on Tuesday, remember on Tuesday that I'm going to be on My Bourbon Journey with Scott. So if you're not subscribed to My Bourbon Journey, check me out over there. I will be there. Love you guys all so much. Have a great end of the year.
Bye.